Hi, welcome to episode 1 of what could just be a quarantine experience or something I actually keep up with. Who knows? We've all tried various things. I haven't attempted to make bread from scratch, but I do know how to make banana bread. But let's start with a YouTube video. So, what I've been noticing during this whole watching a lot of things on streaming is that Dua Lipa, who has decided to put her album out instead of delaying it during this whole stay-at-home order, has had commercials like repeatedly during random streaming apps. It's on Hulu a lot, TLC for my 90 Day Fiancé vidges. So I was like, okay, since I know basically Don't Start Now, Physical, and Break My Heart like the back of my hand for what's on the commercial, let me actually listen to the album. I never had anything against Dua Lipa. Like, New Rules was cool. I had saw her at Lollapalooza a few years ago, and I'm surprised that I liked her a lot. I listened to her first album a couple times, and I remember liking Be the One a lot, but I hadn't paid much attention to her. One of my friends was like, oh, you should listen to Don't Start Now, back when it came out like a couple months ago. And I was like, I'll get around to it. I wasn't really that pressed. But when you needed something dancey to listen to, I was like, okay, let me listen to this whole Putrid nostalgia. And I surprisingly like it a lot. Like, a lot. It reminds me of, I don't think Any Pleasure is Guilty, but it reminds me of that, like, dancey, fun, frothy feeling of listening to Carly Rae Jepsen. Even though they don't sound alike at all, it's different vibes. They're definitely both influenced by, like, the 80s and disco. It's not the same at all, but I liked it a lot. So, we're going to go track by track now. Future nostalgia. It serves its purpose of being like an opening track, but like the sound of it doesn't even match the sound of the rest of the album. I understand why it exists, but is it ever a song I'm going to go out of my way to listen to? No, I don't really skip it when it comes on though. Don't Start Now, I like a lot. I hate really liking a single and having that as one of my favorites on the album because it just seems very like pedestrian in a sense to be like, oh, I really like the single. It's like, well, you didn't really listen to the album, but the production is really good. The various sounds that you pick up on it later is good. The message is fun, and I feel like Dua Lipa was kind of known a lot for the breakup songs, but me personally, I don't like the IDGAF. I feel like, especially after coming out after New Rules, it just seemed redundant. Not even sound-wise, it's just like you did it better with New Rules, but I feel like her having a breakup song, I feel like she reinvented it for herself with Don't Start Now. Then there's Cool. I don't hate Cool, but I remember I was reading this interview where she was saying when she first listened to it, she hated it, but then she liked the instrumental and then wrote to that. I have no issue with Cool at all. I just feel like it doesn't really fit into the album, and it feels like anyone else could sing the song. It feels very generic. It's a good song. It could be a very popular song. I could see it being a popular single, especially during the summer. It's not as unique as the rest of the album goes. Physical, I at first hated Physical. I thought it was so dumb and so cheesy, but it has grown on me. I like Physical a lot. Like, I won't say it's my favorite, but it's in the middle of the song. Like, I don't skip Physical when it comes on anymore. Levitating to me is my first or second favorite on the album. She was saying in an interview, and if you go on the Spotify Future Nostalgia Experience playlist, she says that this was like the first song on the album that like her team was realized what she was trying to do with the whole Future Nostalgia era, and it's the best song on there. It's the production is good. It's just fun. It's lighthearted. It's frothy, but there's a deeper meaning. I just like Levitating a lot. Pretty Please is really good. Like, to me, Pretty Please and Levitating are tied for my two favorites. The production is good, even in the middle when it kind of kicks, like, if you listen to the change of it, I'm not playing it on here because I feel like they usually take off videos if you play snippets of songs on there. I feel like every time I listen to Pretty Please, there's something new I like about it. Hallucinate is a favorite of a lot of people, and she was saying how that's like definitely something she would want to play at a festival. It's high energy, and I feel like I would like it better live. I don't hate it, but it's definitely feels weird to just listen at home. You know what I mean? It feels like it should be attached to like a fun experience and not laid back. Love Again is good. She says that's actually her favorite song on the album. I feel like Love Again, to me, does define what I would think of future nostalgia of something. If I would describe something as future nostalgia, it would sound like. So I like it. Break My Heart, I like her vocals on it. I like the song a lot. I feel like it, for being the third single and being so late on the album, it doesn't really give as much as a chance to shine as the other ones do. I do think it's cute that it's about her current boyfriend, Anwar, and that there's like a look-alike of him in the video. I think it's a cute song. I enjoy it. I just feel like, especially if you listen to the album in order, or even if you're picking your favorites in order, by the time I get to that one, I've usually moved on to like another activity where I'm not listening to music, so it hasn't really got its chance to shine. But I do like the song. Good in Bed. What I like about Good in Bed is that I feel like it's very unique to her and her ad-libs. And she was saying a lot of people forget that she's from London. I've never been to London, but it reminds me of just a song she could, like I was saying, how cool is a song that only she, that sounds very generic. I feel like Good in Bed is a song that only she could do. I don't know, it just has a very like London European, like kitschy vibe to me. Boys Will Be Boys, it has a very good message. I don't hate it. It has a good message. I see its point. I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it though. But it's a good album closer. And I think it says a lot about her as a person that she does have it on the album. She's been teasing that there's a deluxe edition of Future Nostalgia and that she's done a song with Normani. I'm curious. I will say that I've been listening to this album, out of all the music I've been listening to Future Nostalgia the most, just because it doesn't bring me down. It doesn't make me think about being in lockdown or any, it's just light, and I feel like it was a smart move for her to put it out during this time, because for someone who wasn't like an avid fan of hers, I was willing to give it a chance, and it's something new. Compared to just listening to the same thing over and over again. I know a lot of people are pushing album releases back, and I understand that from a business point of view, because you want to do the typical marketing of the album. However, when things quote unquote go back to normal, we don't even know what that normal is going to be. And the fact that she kind of embraced this time and she's even still doing like at-home performances and stuff, I feel like business-wise it was a good move, and just soul-wise, like I feel like if I was an artist, I would feel super weird sitting on something, because okay, you did this over a couple years, and like I would think you would want to move on and be excited to release it and then try something new. So yeah. So let's see how this went. It was weird looking at myself recording this, but I enjoy talking about music, and I usually write about it, so it was easier, honestly, to talk about it. So I might try this again. So check back for more, which is a huge possibility. Okay, bye.